Hey guys, welcome to my porch. This is where I've been growing my all my stuff, my vegetables and fruits the last 2 years. And I thought I would just go through all of the things that I've learned and the mistakes I've made, just to kind of give you an overview. I guess learning by doing is a good way to learn, right? So yeah, I have 2 garden beds and a couple of bags of soil and a lot of pots as well. And I guess right off the bat, I can say that the first thing I learned is that the more soil your vegetables and fruits have to grow in, the happier they are, and the more they grow. I started only with pots and didn't really get very far. But after getting the garden beds, I really learned that it grows a lot better and a lot stronger, a lot bigger when you have more soil. Um, so the way that I've done with the soil, I started out by buying soil, but I soon found out that that was very expensive. So after that, I started just getting it from going out and digging it up from places where I thought the soil looked healthy. So I took, like, for the garden beds, I took the bottom layers, just plain soil from wherever outside that I could find. And then after that, I put a layer of grass cuttings. And then after that, a small layer of quality soil that I got cheap, bought from somebody who was selling it cheap. The garden beds that I have are made, it's really just a pallet. It's in the bottom of a pallet, and then the two, I'm not really sure what you call them. In Danish we call them a pallet frame. So usually when big companies order stuff that are on pallets, they use those frames to kind of keep the stuff inside the pallet. And so many people want to get rid of them and are selling them quite cheap, right? So I got them for, well, it's Danish currency, so it doesn't really matter. And yeah, so that was, I guess, the garden beds and the soil. So the way that I fertilize my soil, it's very unconventional. So I don't use, like, typical, I've read a lot of people who are using manure, but I've never really gotten around to do that. So what I do is I just bury my kitchen scraps, bury them in the soil. So when I made these garden beds, I brought the soil in advance and just started burying kitchen scraps for a month or two, and then after that I started planting. And the thing about kitchen scraps is that when you bury them, well, there's stuff that's going to come up, right? So whatever you eat is also what comes up from the soil when you bury the kitchen scraps. So there is, I call this my accidental garden, because very many things of the things that has come up has been accidents. Lots of cucumbers, tomatoes, just different stuff has come up because it rooted and it came up. So I guess I can start by saying, so this garden bed is where I have my strawberries. It started out just one strawberry plant that became 2, and then 2 became 21, and now I'm not really sure how many there are, but the strawberries, they really just replicate like crazy. you can see that these small runners are the ones that are replicating, and then it's in the beginning I kind of strategically placed all the runners where I wanted it to grow, and then now I have too many runners, way too many. I've been planting all over now. So yeah, it's been a good harvest this year. These are some strawberry plants from last year, some runners that I placed in small pots, and as you can see, they don't have much soil, so they are very small. So yeah, I didn't really do too much for the strawberry plants to grow, so they just grew. Then another thing that I have here is spring onions and red onions as well. And what I do is when it's springtime, I buy a bunch of spring onions in the store, organic of course, and then I just put them into the soil and they start growing. In the beginning they kind of die down, but then they soon begin to rise as well, and to grow. So all the way through summer and fall, I've just been, you can see it here, I've been cutting off the leaves and using that for my cooking, and it's been going on for, well, all the season. I've been using those, right? So that for me is a very cheap way of getting spring onions all summer. I've tried to sow them from seeds, but they never came up, so I just found that this way was a lot easier. The red onions, I put them, when I see that they're starting to sprout, I put them into the soil, and then I get the seeds from when they're done growing, and so I will collect those seeds for next year and try out to see if I can grow some red onions. What else? I have, you can't really see it, but there's a tomato plant that I placed it somewhere around here. You can see this one is from the tomato. It's been growing together with the strawberries, and it's been growing all the way over here where there's still one tomato left. And what did I learn from that? I learned that if you don't have some trellis or something that you can kind of suspend your tomatoes on, then it will just lie flat. It's still giving a crop, but many of the tomatoes are going bad when they come close to the soil. So it's a very good idea to help your tomato plants grow upwards and not just lie down. In the beginning I told you that it's my accidental garden, so many things just come up from the scraps that I've buried, and this is one of them. And this actually was supposed to be a tomato plant. It's from tomatoes, but it never became a tomato plant. And so this is kind of the way I can show that what you buy in stores is sometimes hybrid, right? So maybe they have grafted some tomato plant into this kind of plant, and that became tomatoes. But the thing about the seed inside the tomatoes, and any plant for that matter, is that when it's a hybrid plant, then the seeds will always revert back to the original plant. So that's why I got this, which is absolutely not a tomato plant, from the tomato seeds. Another thing that happened is that I tried to plant some basil long time ago, and the soil that I used to plant basil just got spread out over everything because I just kind of gave up on that. And then all of a sudden this basil came up, and right now it doesn't look very good, but in the beginning it was very, very healthy looking. And I have two basil plants. The other one is over here, and it never really did turn out very nice. It kind of didn't really give me those beautiful basil leaves that you would expect. So what I am thinking is that this basil just grew a lot better because it had shade and it had a lot more soil. So my learning is that basil needs shade and well, lots of soil to grow, right? What else? I've been growing tomatoes in buckets. Not tomatoes, sorry, potatoes in buckets. I don't have any more left. I only have these accidental potatoes. There's both sweet potatoes and normal potatoes here. And I also had a potato that accidentally got sown here, which is also gone now. But I found out that all the potatoes that I had in buckets, they turned out very small, but the one that I had here in the garden bed, they were very large potatoes. So again, the more soil, the bigger and the better your crop. So what else can I tell you? The cilantro. This is a cilantro that I have here. I bought it from the store, organic. I just cut it. I don't know how it is where you guys live, but here in Denmark we get it kind of like this. It's kind of this size when you buy it from the store. And then I cut it in half, like all the way. This part I would just cut it and use that for cooking, and then the rest I planted it. So I've tried a lot of times to plant cilantro that always died. So this is kind of like how I found out that it works best to cut it in half and then put it into the soil, and then it comes back up. I have a lot of cilantro seed. You can see, for example, this one is a cilantro that came in, that started growing seeds, and even from last year I have that. Also this one over here, it's also cilantro. I've tried planting cilantro many times and they never really turn out to be like this one that I bought from the store, and I'm not really sure what's going on, if they have if they don't have enough nourishment or whatever, but apparently in the stores they know how to do it, so that's how I end up buying it from the store and then just putting it into the soil. This one has been in soil for like a month and a half, I think, and it's still very healthy looking, and it's not starting to seed yet. Okay, let's walk this way around. So here, down here, I have a chili plant. This is a habanero chili, and it started inside in the fall last year, and it gave me one single chili, and then it kind of stopped, and so I planted it outside, and it hasn't really been. Oh yeah, wait, there's the chili right there growing. You can see, there you go. So it's coming again, but chili needs a lot of heat and a lot of sun, and it's not really getting it here. It's fall time here in Denmark, and I am in zone 8, so it's probably not going to finish growing those chili before the winter kicks in. yeah, I don't really, I can't really tell too much about the chili. What I can tell about is the garlic. I have lots of garlic growing here. So this is garlic, and all the way over here as well. What I do is that every time my garlic starts to sprout, then I just put it into the soil. You know, what I would usually use for cooking, you know, sometimes it's lying around too much and starts to sprout. And so instead of throwing that out, I just put it into the soil. And then the leaves that grow up, they come up from maybe 1 to 2 weeks after you put it into the soil. These leaves are very tasty, and so you can just kind of chop them off and use them in your cooking and your salads, and they are very good. So it's a very, very nice way to continue to use your garlic. But if you want to grow garlic, like the cloves, you need to put them into the soil specifically in October, at least when you're in zone 8 like I am. October is the month to do that. I tried in September, that they all died, and then October, that worked for me. And they need to stay in the soil through the winter, and even the frost is actually very good for them. So when summer comes, like 9 months after, and you can see that the leaves are starting to wither, the outer leaves, that's the time when you harvest them. And I can truly say that the garlic that I grew has been the best garlic that I ever tasted. It was really, really good, and I still have like 2 or 3 full heads of garlic laying that I haven't used yet. Very nice, and so different from the ones that you buy from the store. I think it's starting to rain, so but I'll continue a little bit. So I have on this table, I have my I don't know what you call that in English, but it's like herbs. Yeah, the herbs. I have parsley, I have the chives, I have the mint, I think it's mint, and the basil that didn't really turn out very good. For all of these, it's the same. I buy an organic pot of those in the store, and then I just put it into a pot with extra soil here and let it grow. You need to be very be very careful with the mint, because it spreads a lot. So for that, you really want to use a pot and not just put it in directly into the soil. It will take over everything. This mint, I got this last year, and it died in the winter, but it came back up during the springtime. But the parsley, that you will have to do every year, and also the basil. And this is thyme, which, wow, it hasn't really given me anything this year. Also because there's not much soil in that pot, and I haven't really been giving it the attention that it deserves. So I have over here, this is my blueberry. I bought it from just a very small stick that was grafted into the soil last year, and this year it gave me only like a few, maybe 10 blueberries, and that's it. So I'm hoping for a good harvest next year. Many people say that Blueberries need acidic soil. This blueberry plant doesn't have acidic soil, but it still gave me blueberries. So yeah, I don't know. I don't like acidic blueberries, so who knows if I'm going to try to make it acidic or not. So I have also some sweet potatoes over here in these two pots, and also you can't really see it, but there's some sweet potato in there as well. And I haven't really I haven't dug them up yet. I sowed them in springtime, and it's kind of it's the first time I did it, and there are videos online on how you do it. It takes a long time to explain, but it's something like you put it into water, and then you break off the sprouts that come up when they are in decent size, and then you put them into water, and then when they start placing roots, that's the time when you put them in soil. I'm not going to explain too much about it because I can't really tell you if it's going to work yet. I haven't harvested yet. Is there anything else I need to talk about? The sunflower, which has been knocked over by the wind. Another just accident that happened from some sunflowers that got bad that I just threw into the soil, and that's what became of it. I tried some peas, and they only gave me very, very little. So I don't really have any golden words about that yet. And I think that's it, actually. I don't think I have anything else. So thank you all for listening, and I hope it helped you guys. Talk to you later.